All right, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to cover bioluminescence found in dinoflagellates. We're also going to talk about what bioluminescence is, what sort of organisms are able to use bioluminescence. We're going to talk about why certain species are able to bioluminate. We're going to talk about how they're able to do this, and we're going to look into detail of a specific dinoflagellate that has this unique ability to be able to produce light. And so as you watch this video, please make sure that you are either taking notes or writing down the questions that are coming up on the video, because those are the questions that I'm asking you to answer in your Jamboard for the plankton assignments this week. Okay, we're first going to start with what is bioluminescence. Bio meaning life, lumen means to light up. So bioluminescence is the ability for a living organism to be able to produce light. Most of you have seen the movie Finding Nemo. As you can see in this picture right here, this is an anglerfish that lives deep in the ocean. It has the ability to produce light, and it does this for a specific reason. However, an anglerfish is not the only sort of creature or organism in the ocean that has the ability to produce light. There are approximately 1,500 species of animals on this planet that are able to produce light. Some are terrestrial species, meaning they live on land, like glowworms and certain insects, obviously fireflies that we have here in Florida. But most of the organisms that are able to produce light are actually found in the ocean, particularly in the deep ocean where there is no light. Now there are 1,500 known species approximately that are able to produce light. However, the total number of species is unknown. The fact is that we do not know a whole lot about what lives at depths in the ocean where there's no light. We know very little about the organisms that live down there, so the number of organisms that are able to produce light are probably much greater than the current number of about 1,500 species. Now, one particular species that we're going to cover in this class, because it is Plankton Week, is a type of plankton known as dinoflagellates. Certain species of dinoflagellates are able to produce light. Not all of them, but some of them. So let's talk about why these organisms produce light. There's really 4 reasons. Number one, a lot of organisms do this to be able to attract a mate. Number 2, it's a defense mechanism for a lot of animals to be able to light up, because if you are a small creature living in the ocean and you come across a small animal or a small organism and it lights up, chances are you're going to stay away from it. A warning sign. Also, they use this for communication. And then finally, as you saw in the anglerfish and Finding Nemo, they tend to produce light to be able to lure things closer to them. So now we're going to talk about how these organisms are able to produce light. So in these organisms, they have a special chemical reaction that takes place within their cell with a chemical substance known as luciferin. And luciferin combines and reacts with oxygen, which produces the flash of light. It's pretty amazing. Now, they can't do this all the time, okay, because it expels a lot of energy that the cell needs to perform other functions. But usually the light can be seen only at night. It's hard to see the light. It's hard to see them light up during the day, obviously. And usually it's just a quick little burst or a quick little flash of light. It's not a steady light, because again, it takes a lot of energy for them to do this. It is typically hard to observe bioluminescence, especially these microscopic dinoflagellates, unless there's a group of them. I'm talking millions and millions and millions. If they're all lighting up at the same time, you can see in these pictures, it's a really amazing sight that you see these just waves of blue in the ocean, and that color is produced in the dinoflagellate itself. Pretty amazing. So now we're going to talk about the specific species that we have here in the classroom that is a dinoflagellate that can produce light. The species name is Pyrocystic fusiformis. Very strange scientific name, but if you think of the word pyro, it means fire, right? To light up. This is a specific species that's found here in the Gulf of Mexico, where the waters tend to be warm, and they are a single-celled phytoplankton. Okay, and this is what our samples are right here that we have. There's probably millions of single-celled dinoflagellates in here, and we are now going to look at them under a microscope, which you'll see right here. So now, as you see these dinoflagellates under a microscope, notice that they don't have a flagella. Most dinoflagellates do. This one does not. It strictly relies on the currents of the ocean for it to be able to travel. And it gets its energy through photosynthesis, so typically these dinoflagellates are found near the surface of the ocean. All right, students, so that concludes our video on bioluminescent dinoflagellates. I hope that you answered those questions that you saw in the video in either your Jamboard or in your notebook. And hopefully you'll get a chance to look at those dinoflagellates under our microscope and actually observe them luminescing in the lab. So without further ado, I'll see you next time.